Oscar BEVIS, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Did Joe Joyce show tonight why they don't want a war with Big Juggernaut?
Yeah, I think he did. Typical, let's say typical Joe. I mean, I think if you're a fan, somebody watching like in the crowd or at home, you know, exciting because, you know, like Joe does, he got clipped with a few decent shots. And that's exciting for people to see. Like, it's kind of a thing, like, who can hurt Joe Joyce? And, you know, Takam gave it his best try. He caught him with a couple of decent shots, but unfortunately he couldn't get the job done. And then, yeah, as soon as Joe realized he got him hurt, gave him a little barrage of shots and got him out of there. So.
Yeah, because we're all sitting around the ring going, one, what do you need to hurt Joe Joyce with? Probably a sledgehammer. And two, what he was actually hit with would probably knock down or knock out 90% of heavyweights. Yeah,
I mean, you know, like I've said it before, we know how good Joe's chin is. And for me, like, you know, he got clipped a little bit too often there. Like, it's a little bit like, for me, you know, he did get clipped he got clipped a couple of times. Takam had a couple of bursts like here and there, and then he tried to put it on Joe for the last 30 seconds. But for the majority of the rounds, I think Joe was basically controlling the round. Then Carlos hit him with maybe the left hook, right hand a couple of times. But like, you know, it started to get to round four, round five. He looked like he was starting to wilt. You know, he's a big, heavy set guy. Those muscles look fantastic, but they don't help you out in a 12-round fight, you know, and especially when you're hitting with someone with your best shots, and you can't get rid of them. So, yeah, I can't remember what the beginning of the question was, but...
It was a pretty decent breakdown. You know, when sometimes people win fights, you can still see like, oh, maybe there's the blueprint to beat them.
Yeah.
Like, I think tonight there's still not really revealed a blueprint to beat Joe Joyce. Like, you can come at him early, but he'll dig deep and he'll get you in your wilt. Like, there's still not really a blueprint you can see to beat Joe Joyce.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, Takam was touching that body quite a lot early. You know, he's trying to wing the hooks in around the side. He's trying to throw the jab into the body. And I was listening to them in their pre-fight interviews, and they were talking about taking Joe to the deep waters and all that. And you know, Joe is the deep water, so I don't know. I kind of see what they were trying to do, but like I said, Takam's a heavy set guy, and he also, you know, he had that head movement. He was moving around a lot, and even though I don't think his movement is particularly effective in terms of he doesn't punch off of it so much. It's effective in terms of it makes the opposite guy apprehensive to throw because he's got a moving target. But that takes energy, even for a big guy. So Takam, you know, he's not necessarily punching off of it, but he's moving his head a lot, it's taking energy, he's getting a few shots into Joe's body, which he was trying to do. It all takes energy, and, you know, yeah, I think, I don't know. He probably looked at the Bryant Jennings fight and saw where Joe got hurt to the body and thought, this is the way to beat him, but as you've just seen, it's not to be so far.
Joe is the deepest of waters. What did you say to him at the end of round 5? You must have said something like, if you don't stop him now, you're not going to get paid. Because he literally ran. It was like Usain Bolt off the starting blocks, mate. He literally just ran across the ring and thought, fuck this, I'm bored, I'm going to get him out of it.
To be honest, I actually can't remember what I said to him in between the rounds. It was a little bit problematic with the masks and stuff, actually, because quite a few of the rounds I spoke to Joe and he couldn't hear what I was telling him. So, but you know, I did tell him it was in the first couple of rounds. I told him it's a 12-round fight. So, you know, he started. What happened was Joe started. He was picking up some of Takam's shots, especially the left hook, and I needed him to try and come back with the counter punches that we had been working on in the gym, which he hadn't been doing up until that point. But I mean, he came out, and I think, you know, it was a 1-2 hook. He just touched the 2 in and clipped Takam with the hook. And as soon as he saw his legs go, I mean, it wasn't me. Joe saw him hurt, and you know, Joe's one of those guys. If he gets you hurt, he's gonna get on top of you, and that's exactly what he did.
And I said to Frank, where do you go from here? I mean, we know exactly what is in Joe's sights, but yeah, I suppose now you have to sort of up the level from Takam and still look at that sort of world guys, ex-world champions, ex-world challengers, without going too hard, because you know that in the future there is going to be a point where Joe is going to be the man.
Yeah, of course, and you know, I mean, that's not for me to decide. Like, that's for Adam and Sam and Joe and Frank to sit down and talk about who's next. Obviously, he is in a fantastic position now with that WBO number one, a mandatory to the winner of Joshua Usyk.
I'm sure you'll have your eyes on that.
Yeah,
Not even in a fan way, mate. Like, well, in a fan way, but in a training perspective as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Usyk, we had already spent a few months training for him, so if it happens to be Usyk, and you know, I think we all know that if Usyk wins, there's going to be a second Joshua fight. So it's not like that fight's going to happen this year. I highly doubt. So, you know, Joe's going to have probably someone to fight, like Frank said, for an interim title and trying to hold that position. So that's not for me. Like, when they come up with the fight or they come up with the opponent, you know, then I'll be involved and we'll see how it goes. But it's not for me to decide.
And just finally, I'm glad he won because you can't come out in a mask like that and lose. little thing on the mask. Like, I didn't even know what a juggernaut was. I don't think Frank did either. But apparently, it's that massive, weird shaped mask.
You've never seen the Juggernaut cartoon?
I thought Juggernaut was like someone who wears big armour.
Nah, the Juggernaut. He's a character. I don't know if he's Marvel. Don't get me on the comics, but he is a comic book character. He's huge and he has like that big dome-shaped head, and he, like, you know, he runs through walls, he runs through people, and so yeah, like
He's Joe Joyce basically.
He's Joe Joyce, yeah, exactly. You know, nothing much hurts him. It was a fantastic. They showed me the outfit, I think this morning or yesterday, and I was like, that's brilliant. That's one of the best ones I've ever seen. So fortunately, Joe did the business and lived up to the name, and yeah, on to the next one.
And on we go. And now you're going to have to top that, so God knows what you're going to do next. Stephen, thank you very much. You look absolutely knackered and stressed, so I'm going to let you go. Well done tonight, and yeah, the train rolls on.
Say that last bit again.
The train rolls on. I just called him a train. Train, Juggernaut, Rolls Royce, whatever, yeah.
The show rolls on, and we'll see what Frank and the boys come up with next, and I'm sure, you know, the fights will continue to be exciting, and let's keep winning.